Hello and welcome back to episode 15 of our Timberborn Ironteeth Meander playthrough. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Glad to have you. Last time we got this power tower up and running, and we discussed that maybe today we would expand this reservoir into the back over here. And yeah, we're gonna do that. We're also, I think, going to try to get... Did we need to raise this up? I can't remember. Let's see. So this is higher than this by 1. So actually we don't want to raise this up because, well, unless we raise this up, but I don't think we really can with all of this going on here. Without pressurizing that. So I think we actually have to delete these. We were going to try to raise this up, but then I remembered why we couldn't. Let's try to get that debris someplace we can access it. Where did it go? It went inside. That wasn't exactly where I was hoping it would go. Okay, that can be accessed though. Oh, come on. And that should be able to be accessed. Okay, we can unpause it after I delete these because I don't want these power shafts to actually be built. Okay. We might also look into expanding this out this way. And I think we're also going to work towards getting some well-being up. We definitely could get some more well-being buildings like the detailer. That would be easy and appropriate to get going at this point. Just a matter of finding a nice spot for beaver fashion. And okay, for instance, we don't really need these small tanks anymore. That could easily be something else. So let's empty those. Okay, we're in the middle of a drought. These are done pumping. This one's still pumping. We need to actually unpause some of these. This one's almost done. Very shortly, there won't be anything left to pump there. Or is he already done pumping? Yep. Okay. That one can be paused too. Last episode, we also planted a new tree farm in the old fertile lands of the old riverbed. Thought that was appropriate. So once those two tanks are emptied, we can go ahead and delete them. And one detailer, for sure, can go right there. Or do I keep that spot open for breeding pods if I want more? I can always move the detailer if need be. Let's see, where else could one go? So we have this whole area of inaccessible stuff. So I think if we actually delete this breeding pod, build a path there, we can then put detailers there. And replace the breeding pod if we so choose, which I am going to opt to do. We can make sure there's plenty of detailers. All right, let's get some beaverception going on here. There we go. That should do. So make them happy. A motivatorium. That would also be a decent thing to build. We don't really need this badwater tank here anymore. That was to store the badwater that was being collected over there, but it's no longer being collected over there. So that's unnecessary. think we got enough of this stuff kind of in order for now. Well, we could pretty easily build some stuff over this way. Like, is everyone getting enough exercise? People aren't getting enough campfires. That's one problem. So we could definitely build another campfire. A wind tunnel would be good, but also a little tricky to hook up. I guess we got power right here, so maybe not that tricky. Yeah, let's see if we could put the wind tunnel here. And get some power over there. Oh, not that. There. And that'll be power. I actually think we do something like this. We can put some, we're also missing rooftop terraces, so we could do that to help with that well-being bonus. And why not for what aesthetics are we not consistently getting very well? Brazier, okay. Brazier, I don't know how to pronounce that word properly. But we could put one of those right there. And that'll help with people at the rooftop terrace and just walking in between here. Yeah. In fact, we could even extend this platform one and put another decoration of some kind, like, say, actually, we kind of need a shrub. That'll help balance out that too. All right, let's look on how we're going to expand this. So they do have access to this, right? Yep, okay, that is connected. Good. We are going to need to build levees in this spot as well. We get rid of that. We could do this. Okay. We just need a few more. So we don't need to go this way at the moment. We will for exploding it, but for right now we don't. Actually, that won't work out very well, will it? If we had ladders, it would. Let's see. We actually are going to need to move this one over in order to utilize stairs properly for that. Oop, not that high though. I don't know why I paused it. Excuse me. Sorry about that. And that should actually work just like that. We might not have even needed to go way over here because we don't need to build anything above this. Interesting. Go ahead and put these other levees down. And actually, this corner spot isn't necessary either. Oh, that's not where we wanted it. Yep, that's all at the right height. And then we are gonna like blow this out too. Let's scroll down here. There was a much more efficient way than clicking all of that. Okay, so the water is just goes over here. Okay, and that could have been a something else. A levee. But it's not, so we could have saved one more space, but as long as we... Yeah, so this is disconnected. So these ones actually aren't doing anything. Good to know. Okay, so we can go ahead and blow this area up. I'm just going to do here a double. And then, oh, that's a triple. It's not what I wanted to do. Double. And triple all along here. All right. So, oh, doing the water. I think we could actually unpause another one of these. That would be helpful. Since we already have power over here, I'm wondering if I just kind of flatten this out and make this more of a designated industrial sector. It's kind of already haphazardly put together like that, but I think we could do better. That's a problem for future. For now, let's evaluate our crops. We are running low on cassavas, corn, and eggplants, but we're getting them over here. They're not running out here just the raw stuff because we still have room. So if anything, we might need to plant just a little bit more canola, possibly. I notice our scrap is going down, so we might need or benefit from another scavenger flake here. I think that would be helpful. All right. We can go back and check out how this is doing. It's coming along nicely. Yeah, honestly, I definitely don't need this last one. And this one could probably get by with being a teeny tiny something. Like just a little bridge. Probably didn't even need to be that long. I'm gonna wait to blow this up until we are ready to demolish these. Okay, well this one won't be able to wait. Let me think here. Is this actually doing a purpose here after? No. No, we won't need that. They can just be above this. This is all impermeable. Or levees, which are also impermeable. As long as it can't reach here, it'll be fine. So yeah, after this is all built, which it is, question mark? No, it's not. We need to build that section. And then, okay, so that's not connected. Where are we missing a path? Right here. After this is connected, we can demolish all of this and have a lot more space for water. And then we can go ahead and blow up some more of this with dynamite. Now that will eat into our logs a little bit, but we're going to get a lot of it. We're actually going to get more back than what we spent by demolishing those other levees. So that's pretty cool. Even with it only be 75%, I think, well, it's going to be close. Because there are more levees over here than I think we built. Oh, just two more. One more levee. Oh, lazy beavers. Oh well. Power's still looking okay. If we wanted to, we could put gravity batteries. But since this is always flowing, we don't really need them. They would have been useful to store up some of the power from like these before we had the discharge going. That'd be the only use for gravity batteries, really. I guess it wouldn't be terrible to have some in case we really mess up and disconnect something somehow. But really, they should be unnecessary. Wind tunnel's going. Beaver happiness is going up. Campfires went down even more. I think they don't have time. I think we need to lower the workday just a little bit. They're not having time to get to everything that they want. I really believe that's part of the issue. Is that last levee built? It is. Okay. So, moment of truth. Did I mess up? Okay, pause. I messed up there. I meant to destroy this levee. Now we need to rebuild that impermeable floor. Now we need to get back over there. Gosh darn it. Oh, wait, they can do it over from that other side. We're good. We're golden. Okay. Is this going to just blow the water off the map? It's not really much of a moment of truth because, well, it's pausing this. Water is staying up there as intended. Excellent. Excellent. Commence demolishing the stuff. Yeah, we lowered working hours and happiness instantly went up. Love to see it. Okay, so let's look below this level and make sure. Okay, so we cannot delete anything to the right of this because this is necessary for the diversion. That one can be deleted though. And that one. And then we can start dynamiting it down. Double. Triple. I should be able to pick that up still. So I should make that a priority. Well, I don't think they have the storage space. They don't. Okay. More log storage would be nice. So yeah, we lowered working hours and our happiness is going up. Now they have time to get to the various fun stuff. Did we hit a break point at all, I wonder? Let's see a beaver here. 37 is a break point. Is not a break point. See, this one's at 35 was a break point. So our average is right below that working speed bonus. Next move speed bonus is until 42. And life expectancy bonus is at 37. Okay. I'm willing to bet if we decrease the working hours even a little more, we might have even better results with that. I think it's time. This isn't a great spot for our storage. We have a tree farm down here, though, I guess. So, yeah, maybe this isn't too far from that. So maybe having some more log storage there isn't terrible. Okay. Power, we are doing A-OK. I don't think we have enough to just connect this and turn off these engines quite yet. So is this project over here pretty much done? I mean, I guess we need to just do some explosions, and then it pretty much is. Wasn't a huge project, but it is definitely increasing the size of our reservoir. Which we occasionally were running out of water on the longer droughts, so that was necessary to find a way to squeeze out a little bit more water. And our population is going to keep going up a little bit. So yeah, we definitely could benefit from getting that population up. Actually, we could replace this section with tunnels to hold, and even under here with tunnels. We wanted to get a little bit more storage, but I don't think it's necessary either. Bring the dynamite. Scrap is stabilizing. Explosives are going down a little bit, but we're using a lot of them. It's fine. Yeah, see, now we're up to 36 average well-being. Just giving them all the time to visit the various fun stuff helped out immensely. We're actually doing good on rooftop terraces now. These trees are almost ready to be harvested, and we are still full on storage. We have a lot of science. I don't think there's any reason we can't unlock hydroponic gardens. Let's go ahead and unlock the mine. We're just going to spend some science here. We got a lot of science to spend. Decorations. I think we have everything that actually gives a bonus. We do. We could definitely get some monuments going, though, right? I think we're mostly going to be using the large row houses, but why not unlock that? Anything? Irrigation barrier? Sure. Full floodgate? Sure. We're just using this up a lot of this science that we have. All right. We might be able to get into bots if we wanted to. Fairly soon. They will, of course, take a lot of wood, which we have an excess right now, but would we if we built bots? Probably not. It would still be nice to have. Let's at least unlock them. Oh yeah, they need charging stations for the Ironteeth versions. They don't use biofuel, they use charging stations, which actually is a lot less convenient, in my opinion. But it also means you need to grow less food stuffs, because that was what's going into the biofuel. They also don't use punch cards, which means you need less trees for them. What they do use also is Grease Factory, which uses canola oil and extract. So you need more extract for them, and then I guess the crop you then need is canola oil to make the grease. And the control towers, which you place around and gives a bonus to their bots to the bots as well, um, uses science. So you actually have something that continuously consumes science as Iron Teeth. So you always need the number cruncher. I mean, the number cruncher produces quite a bit per hour, and this consumes. So each number cruncher supplies enough to supply 3 control towers. So yeah, depending on how many control towers you want, it might be possible that you need more than one number cruncher even. Building lacks materials. The food factory doesn't have enough eggplants, but we also are more or less full on eggplants, so that's not a huge concern. Oh, we can blow up that last level there. Get just that little bit more area for our reservoir. Water is still going down. We unlocked the hydroponic gardens. If we actually want to utilize them, we are going to need to increase our water a little bit, because they do use quite a bit of water. That was part of the reason I wanted to expand this. Is this going up? Should be, right? Yeah, okay. I was like, is it only going up a certain level and then not? But it seems to be working as intended. Excellent. Okay. Our population has kind of stopped going up as fast. We might need another breeding pod here soon. Maybe. I don't want to go up too fast, but I feel like it hasn't moved hardly at all recently. Don't have enough of the wet fur bonus. And also lacking swimming pool, I thought. No, not quite. Maybe we just need another double shower to help with the wet fur bonus. And that can be done. Water still hasn't reached here yet. And it won't until it starts overflowing here. Which it is doing now, and then it'll overflow there. And then eventually overflow down here. Perfect. Let's get some beavers pumping water. Yeah, we are. We're not going up very fast on population. Nobody in that medical bed right now, so I'm thinking maybe we find a new home for the medical bed and put another breeding pod there. There's definitely other options for medical beds. They can be below pretty much any platform. See if we have any spots below some platforms that would possibly work. Possibly not. Go up one more level. Let's see what we're working with here. Yeah, nothing would work over there, actually. Okay. Well, let's see if we end up needing that medical bed. We've got quite a few of them at the moment. Let's put a breeding pod there, though. Breeding halted. I think they just hadn't gotten their supplies to that new breeding pod quite yet. Not an issue. Let's go back up to that max level. Let's see. Where would we want to place hydroponic gardens? Actually, looking at this, seems like we can maybe maximize this tubeway a little bit better. Um, yeah. So if we had a vertical tubeway here and platforms here, we could then put a path here and access this area. Coincidentally, that makes a spot for the medical bed how I was talking. And then the hydroponic garden. Oh, am I looking under there? Go right there. Let's go down, make sure that's connected by a path. It is. Let's go ahead and do mushrooms for now. We'll use water to make mushrooms, and then we need to ferment those mushrooms. So we will need another fermenter, but that is quite easily done. We just need to figure out where we would like to put it. Could honestly go like this and have 2 more fermenters. I don't know if we really need that, but maybe we could do something else with some of the space without the other fermenters. We're just gonna pause this one for now and have this one set to mushrooms. Needs power to operate. It doesn't have power? Ah, there it will. The food factories are kind of particular on where they can connect power, but they do. It's up here, and every upper spot on the 4 cardinal directions in the center only, and then the bottom ones on the 3 that aren't the door, if that makes sense. So these mushrooms do take a while to grow, but they give quite a bit of mushrooms when they're done. Okay. Let's see. I don't think, oh, excuse me, that we're going to do much more with this. Let's just try to build storage and collect this rubble, and then we can delete that scaffolding. Where do we want to build some storage? Do we have much for log storage over here where some of these food factories are using logs? We got these. Not bad. Could be better. This is all dirt, okay. I think if we did something like this, maybe? I envisioned that a little wrong. Maybe did it like this. We could set those to logs. Okay. Then we got to decide if we're. I think we're gonna want more power eventually. Um. So, how would we do that with what we have set up? Hmm. Drought started, and it is not a very long drought at all. So we should be a-okay. Let's focus on taking the water out over here. The less that gets evaporated over here, the better. Yeah, our population is going down a little bit. We need to keep those breeding pods going. Why not another one? Definitely couldn't hurt. I mean, it could if our population starts to grow out of control, but I don't think we're in danger of that at the moment. Okay. Debating if we want to pressurize this at all, and how, if we do. We could probably wait a little bit. Did we get rid of all that debris yet? Not all of it, but a lot of it. I do miss my underground tunnels. Having to just rely on these large industrial piles that only hold 180. Kind of annoying. Definitely rather annoying. But I think it's time to go too high here. I just like to have plenty of log storage. Probably excessive amount of log storage at the moment, but don't judge me. I think the bottom one needs to be set to logs as well. Assuming that's what we want it to have, and I think it is. And then I also think we can have another entrance up there over here. All right. That should help us get a lot of log storage because we have trees that are ready to cut. We have lumberjack flags that aren't being manned at the moment, beavered. But yeah. All the food does look pretty good. Nothing to do in range. Oh, excuse me with these zones. It looks like I did not mark any of these for cutting. And that's unfortunate because they are all for cutting. That is why they are planted. That's very quickly going to fill up even all of this storage that I made over here. Um, One thing I noticed is I think I do want another tubeway over here somewhere. Because that's not that far, but these seem pretty far. It gets pretty far over here. Like that's Feels almost as far as like over here. And it is. That's just, it's a lot, to be honest. How can we help with that? Well, we could put a two-way here, but that doesn't help all that much, does it? I'm thinking at the moment, and me thinking is kind of dangerous sometimes. What if we blow this up and put a tube-way right here? Well, first we would need to be able to reach that. I don't think this is actually being used for anything at the moment. Nope. Blow that up. My master plan isn't so masterful at the moment. Because I was going to build it here, but that's a path that we need. So I gotta go over here, actually. And I think they can then, if they build that, I think they can reach this spot. And I can choose if I want the tubeway here or here. Both equally valid. Okay. So if I wanted to continue the pattern, I actually did have an interesting suggestion that I think would work. That we could put compact water wheels on the bottom here. Yeah, that could absolutely work. To get just that little bit more power out of here. We just need to destroy one of these levees, two of these levees actually, and replace them with platforms somehow. To get power from there is going to be kind of tricky. Without making a mess. So we need this to be a solid power shaft. Or actually just the one below it. And how do we do that without destroying this whole thing? Because if we delete that, it deletes everything above it, and then we're going to have issues. Well, I think the answer to that is we're just going to have to rebuild it if we want to connect those. And all we'd have to do is turn on the engines temporarily and close the badwater discharge. That's doable. Come on, where is it? Oh, yeah, it's way down there, isn't it? There it is. Close that. And we just wait a little bit for the water to drain. Okay, it's drained. And then we have to do our deconstruction projects. That needs to be deconstructed. Actually, I don't want to destroy all of it. That wouldn't be fun. So that can be connected. Now those are connected. Now to get that connected, what's that holding up? Is that not actually holding up much of anything? No, it's holding up one little thing there. Gosh darn it. These are all the platforms that a viewer said were kind of unnecessary and it'd be easier just to have vertical power shafts. And you know what? I'm starting to agree with that. That's probably correct. Yeah, let's get rid of all of these. Oh, no, that wasn't all that I wanted to get rid of. Man, sad day in the neighborhood. Well, now we're fixing the stupid too quick to demolish mistake I just made. Let's go ahead and unpause it so this starts going somewhat. So well, this needs over here to be levees. Actually, we're going to have this one be vertical power shaft, then that one as well. Okay, and then we just got to try to figure out what the pattern was. Oh, man. That was very unfortunate. Now, if I was... Oh, this actually needs to be a vertical power shaft. That's my mistake. If I was more kind of a cheater or something, I could just reload that save, and not even show you guys that that happened. But no, I'm going to keep that in because I'm going to keep it real. This actually can't be a vertical power shaft on the bottom there. That needs to be a levee to hold the water. That just means that can be a vertical power shaft. Levees? I want to say these weren't levees, but platforms. Because the water's not going there. And thankfully, we didn't delete this overhang, so we know that's where our overhangs are supposed to be. There's not a platform there, it would appear. What is going on? Okay, so it's the connection. Well, no, that's just a power shaft. Why can't there be a something? Why can't there be a platform above the power shaft? There can. Okay. So no problem. Oh, it should have been a solid power shaft, and I just made it irregular. So I put a power shaft and a platform above it, which really does a very similar thing for this use. Okay. Then we need go back to these overhangs and impermeable floors. Go on all of this. Then it goes 2 levees. Power shaft. Let's go up a little bit. Let's actually put in our large water wheels here. Nope, not power shaft. That's where the water wheel is supposed to go. Let's zoom down a little bit. Okay. Now this path, I don't think is actually doing anything. Too far from a district center. How so? Is this not connected anymore? No, it's connected. Is this... How can that be too far from a district center? Should be able to build from the tube-way, shouldn't it? Oh, no, we didn't build it far enough over this way. Okay. That's on overhangs. So until we build up here, we won't be able to put more tube-ways to build that. Okay. No problems. No problems. We're good. We'll get it done. So that needs to be like that. And then what did I do? Just platforms, it looks like. Is that where I did? Yep, doubles and triples. Why did I put singles as I was saying doubles? The world may never know. That's okay. I can keep my secrets. Doubles. Triples. Okay. Overhangs. Impermeable floors. Levees. Large water wheels. Overhangs. Double platforms. No. Triple platforms. Overhangs. Levees. Impermeable floors. Except for that last one. Okay. Large water wheels. Too far from district center. Okay, we'll fix it. We'll fix it. That doesn't need to be any higher than that, actually. Can't do a vertical one there. Fine, we don't need to. Fact, yeah. These technically don't need to be vertical ones either. It's fine though. And then at the very bottom, ta-da! All right, now let's work on the issue where we can't build some of that. What? This is an overhang going from that way. Okay. So if I just delete, say, that one and that one, and do another large overhang going this way, not those. The vertical tube and a two. No, we're at the top. Dang it. Um. Um. Hmm. Okay. Stupid, but it will work. I think. Think I'll make everything buildable. So yeah, a decent chunk of this episode was just adding the little bit of power from these compact water wheels, and then fixing my mistake of deleting too much. Oh well, stuff happens. We're handling it. I feel like we need to even do one of these to reach some of those impermeable floors, which is just getting kind of silly. That's not high enough? Well, it can be. Yeah, that two-way structure is uh silly. Let's put it that way. Now, let's see if that all works now. I think everything should be reachable. We'll just check on it in a little bit. This is still looking pretty good. Our reservoirs are pretty full. And this looks higher than that, but that's just because this is one level higher to prevent any surges when the drought ends. Okay, so we can go over here now again. And we can work on that tube-way station I wanted to put over here. Excellent. Oh, that's definitely not what I wanted. I do want to leave it available if I want to hide in that, raise that up. So, yeah, we're going to go like this. I guess technically I didn't even need to build that one. Oh well. Um, and then I guess this vertical tubeway wasn't necessary either. It should have been a platform. Wanted to be able to access back there. I think really we need to move this farmhouse over one. And then we can still access here even when I build this two-way connection here. Okay. Wait. Can it not connect there on the front? It can't. Okay. So just a small adjustment to the plan. That it's gonna need we're gonna need to blow up here and then go down. But now that this should have a way to connect, they should be able to build all of this as soon as they get working over here. It's just nighttime at the moment. Okay, is this all built? No, it's not. We're just waiting on builders, I think. We got some homeless beavers, guys. Homeless beavers. Unacceptable. I don't like that stair there anymore. We can do that. This could actually be deleted and replaced with two singles. Wait a minute. I'm having trouble visualizing what I was trying to do now. And I never told you guys the master plan, so how could you have known? That makes this path unneeded. Row house? Row house. I don't think we even need that path. Row house. We could have left that as a double platform, actually, I guess. But the reason we didn't is because the hidden lantern. What? We can't hide a lantern there? Can we hide a bush? What? Thought we could hide them underneath. Apparently not underneath a single platform. What I meant to say is we're going to hide a medical bed there. Yeah. Or no, better yet, scratcher. There we go. Now we're talking. All right. Let's see if we have... I think all of this is built. Let's double check. We're missing an impermeable floor there. Why are we missing an impermeable floor there? Well, we can make sure we're not missing it by just building it not the right height. Fine. By building a two-way right there. Double check everything else. Okay, obviously we're missing the impermeable floor, so that's on that same level. Apparently we're missing a large water wheel too. It's also missing that, and that's too far from a district. And I think that comes back. Okay. So we actually need another two-way connection there. And just to be sure, tube ways for all. I'm glad I didn't just assume this was all done and turn it on. Always double check your work, guys. Oh, this looks ugly. Oh, that looks ugly. I hate it. We're going to delete a lot of those tube ways here. Once we know this is all working out properly. Okay. So we're still waiting on that, which is... Okay, that should be still too far from a district center. they're not a two-way directly above you. My guy. Uh, what? That's not connected. That's just a bunch of baloney. All right. I don't think there's any way that there's a spot over there that's not reachable from those tubes now. Okay, it looks like it's all built now, doesn't it? Ships observe. Okay, so water comes out here. No problem. That's impermeable. It drops down here. It is caught here. That's impermeable. That is permeable, so it drops down there. These are all impermeable, so it goes over here, it drops down. Okay. I think we can turn that discharge back on. Open that up. And hopefully we don't see a whole bunch of bad water spilling everywhere besides out of here. Okay. Spilling where it should. All of those water wheels are connected. And we're back up onto the main grid. So, engines can be paused again. I'm just going to keep that for just a little bit. We're going to keep that two-way mess up there in case I decide it would be helpful for expanding this the other direction. So, I don't think we got a whole lot of extra. Basically, we made life harder for ourselves by deleting more than we needed to. But we needed to delete some in order to put these compact water wheels here. So that one's a lot less flow. Let's see if I can fix that. So to get more flow there, we would need to not let it flow out. There, basically. I don't know if that would help. Over here would definitely help, but it's going to mess up things we have above it. Not needed things, granted. Actually, this isn't holding up any. It is holding up that section. But we could still delete these and replace this one with an overhang like it should have been. So we're getting rid of some of our two-ways that way. I don't even know if these two-ways are necessary at this point. Okay, but this triple platform is holding up levees. So that's more of a problem. That would require shutting off the power and redoing this side some. And this is only a 2 CMS flow, so even if we block this, it should still not overflow there. I don't know. It seems like it affected it a little bit. Gave it a little more power there. Anyway, so most of these are like about 60. We got 3 of them, or 6 of them. So we added 360 minus a little bit for that last one not being super efficient. That's what we added for power. With that whole thing, and the mistakes along the way made it worse for a while. Like, the project wasn't supposed to disrupt things as badly as it did. So that, I think we'll call it an episode. Unfortunately, a large portion of that was fixing a over-ambitious or overly careless demolition But we did expand the back of our reservoir over here. We did expand our storage a lot and almost get 2 bays connected to it. Very close, actually. I think I'm going to finish that off here before I officially wrap things up. Okay, it needed to be one higher than that. So we got a lot more log storage. We got a hydroponics garden going, which is providing us with some fermented mushrooms occasionally. We're eating all the fermented mushrooms faster than we can use them, so we're going to need more hydroponics gardens. But yeah, all in all, looking pretty good. Still have a lot of work to do. Still got to figure out what we're kind of aiming for. You guys might see the one where I ask you for questions about what we're aiming for before. You might see that one and comment, but this was recorded before I had a chance to see those comments. So if you already had suggestions, I apologize. I haven't seen them quite yet as of this recording. I will look at the suggestions and we will figure out a plan. With that, I think we are going to call it an episode. See you guys next time.